When we're dealing with church hurt and we're trying to find a way to navigate through it, we have to always look for the way of peace. My name is Minister Monica Thomas, and I first joined Mt.Gilead in 2008. I got married and moved away in 2011, and I returned in 2023.
Minister Monica Thomas's journey to Mt.Gilead was sparked by church hurt, a term that refers to the emotional pain or trauma experienced by someone in church by other members or leaders.
When I joined a particular ministry after I became an adult and became very active in that ministry, I really put all my heart and soul into it. I had an opportunity to see a lot of what goes on inside and outside of some of the normal protocols.
She experienced a betrayal of trust over a protracted period of time.
And just dealing with that and experiencing that and not knowing how to calibrate in those types of environments when you see situations that bother you, you don't know how to manage the pain or the hurt and the disappointment that you experience because of it.
But God had a plan for her restoration.
One day I was driving my son to school and I heard a message. I heard a minister preaching this fiery message, "Woe to the shepherds who scatter the sheep." And in that message, I could feel his heart and soul and all this love that came forth as he apologized on behalf of churches and leaders and pastors and any situation that hurt us, especially those of us who were deeply committed to our ministries and to our work and our service to the Lord. And I just began to weep in the car.
That preacher was Bishop Daniel Robertson Jr., and not long after that encounter, Minister Monica got the courage to leave her former ministry and join Mt.Gilead in 2008. She kept this journal documenting her feelings surrounding church hurt.
Because of what was happening in my former ministry, my personal life had become very unstable. I wanted to be married, but I didn't really know how to date, how to really go about it. I was in and out of relationships, and I brought that baggage to Mt.Gilead.
But through the teaching and prophetic ministry of Bishop Robertson, Minister Monica was able to break the cycle of unhealthy relationships and meet her husband. In 2011, she got married and relocated to live with him.
I was in Northern Virginia with my husband, and we were living a great life, and we were a part of a ministry there, his ministry actually, where we had gotten married. I had joined their music ministry. And then I ran into some more church hurt in the music ministry. It kind of got up to the pastor. Some of these members had been there much longer than I had, and he didn't want to ruffle any feathers. Long story short, I ended up kind of stepping down from that role. And then it just became an ugly situation.
The couple left that ministry and joined another church in the area, but Minister Monica still needed guidance. She turned to the shepherds who helped her heal from church hurt before.
All during this process, I remained connected to Mt.Gilead. I would have meetings with Bishop, and I would also have meetings with co-pastor. Even though we were a part of the church where we were, I wasn't active enough. I knew I had more to offer in ministry. I knew I had more to give the Lord. And I had a meeting with co-pastor, and she told me about MIY.
MIY stands for Mentor in You, which is a 12-month mentorship encounter open to women connected to Mt.Gilead. Co-pastor Alina Robertson invited Minister Monica to attend the MIY retreat.
It's like Bishop comes with the power wash, he cleans us up with the power washer. But co-pastor does that stubborn stain. She knows how to get into those spots. She does that one-on-one area. She knows how, she's that OxyClean that goes and she targets that specific area in your life. And she did that with me in MIY.
Then just weeks later, in October of 2022, Minister Monica's husband suddenly died.
When the time came that my husband passed away, even though it was devastating, it didn't break me. It didn't cause me to crumble because I had already been prepared by the Lord. I had He had already connected me, and I had a relationship now deeper with Mt.Gilead through MIY.
After her husband's passing, Minister Monica commuted from Northern Virginia to attend worship service at Mt.Gilead until one morning, the Holy Spirit said, "The Lord wants you to sell your house and move back to Richmond."
Even though I heard that, I really wasn't looking forward to moving back to Richmond because I felt like I was coming back to a past.
And then she felt the comfort of the Holy Spirit and knew she would move back to Richmond and be okay.
And I realized that, God, you've been faithful to me. I know we're going to be just fine. I'm sorry for how I responded to you. And then 9:30 that morning, I get a phone call that Bishop would like for me to sing for the church's anniversary. What a way for God to confirm what he had just spoken to me during the night.
Minister Monica says after getting through years of church hurt and going through her own healing process, she now wants to help others recover. She's written a book called Church Hurt, What Do I Do Now?
The book is not to point the finger at people or to cast judgment upon anyone, but it is to help us look within and see our part and how we could have handled things better. And also to help us heal through it. I want people to be able to find healing first by looking within. Think about your situation, your church hurt situation. Have a heart that understands, discerns it, considers the word about it, and how you should respond in a forgiving and a loving manner.